teaching is his desire, and his teaching he murmurs day and night. And I went, wow. But
What?
that low guttural sound, the idea is that they or convey the idea rather than
Yeah.
me explain it, convey that idea for us.
Eugene Peterson says that it's the dog on the bone, just like, rah, 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 rah. So there's this really active, I mean, again, I think when we read a word like meditate, this side of the enlightenment, we're like cognitive, like I open my brain and like words fall in. Or maybe I ruminate on them. Like we think of a very cognitive kind of activity, but it's very bodily. Actually, this word meditate, like you're really hungry, you're gnawing on it. And this would also kind of even speak to acedia. One of the things that I would say that I notice in my own self is a resistance to the demands of learning, the demands of like real kind of like study and growth. I want things to be easy for me. I do want God to just kind of like download the information that I need, give me the new operating system, and then I will walk forth in my newness of life. But what if we could imagine our relationship with scripture probably will require effort. It 100% is going to require effort. And there are all kinds of different efforts involved. And I think that's also something that I've been able to notice and name in my own life. Some efforts are easier than others. I find it fairly easy to read the scriptures. I've been reading the scriptures since I was 16, like on a daily basis. Like I read the Bible in a year. I love that ability to inhabit the story in that way. Like every year I just am like cycling through the story of God. I'm getting restoried myself. I find it much harder to study the scriptures, much harder to memorize the scriptures. Easier for me to meditate on the script, like meditate in the sense of like, just ponder, reflect, examine my own heart. But this kind of like rah, 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 not gnawing at, working it to the bone. Like I think God has a lot for us there. I mean, for example, recently been reading Exodus, what I'm trying to study in my own personal time. It's like, I can't even get past Exodus 3. I mean, there's just so much there, but it's not there on a cursory read. And there are a lot of things that aren't there even until you memorize them. And the older that I get, the harder I feel that it is to memorize. It takes more effort. But all of these like efforts combined are to think about Psalm 1. These are the things that are going to root us so deeply. I mean, because again, to go back to that imagery of like, we're assaulted by different stories. We're assaulted by different kinds of ideas and values and the vision of the good life. But like, gnaw that bone of God's true story of the world, and the true person that I am, and the true call to love my neighbor. Like if I don't like gnaw on it, it's just not going to happen by osmosis.